Hello everybody, today we are making meatloaf topped with obayata sauce and ketchup. Obayata is a Nigerian sauce they use in jollof rice and they throw it up on top of rice. Just eat it plain like that. Alright, so we're going to start off with a red bell pepper. I am using a little bit of garlic, what I have left here. I'm using my manual chopper today because I have my electric one packed up and I don't know where it is, so we ain't digging for all that. Alright, so we're going to put in a little bit of ginger paste. You can also use fresh ginger, just a small piece of a knob. You don't have to use the whole one. And because I am using my little manual chopper, I can only put a certain amount in there at a time. So we're going to go ahead and do the garlic, bell pepper. That's about, I think that was like half the bell pepper. All right, just go ahead and put things up. Y'all see the inside of my refrigerator there. So we're not all the way chopped up yet, but we'll get everything going, put it back in. And I'm eventually going to use all this red bell pepper, but you don't have to use all the red bell pepper. I'm just using it all because I don't have any other use for it. I'm not going to waste it. All right, so now we're going to go in with a red onion. You can use half a red onion. You can use a whole red onion. It's completely up to you how much onion that you want in there. But I'm using a red onion. We're going to go ahead and chop that up. That's what that looks like. All right, so we're going to put some oil in, maybe about 1/4 of a cup at the bottom of the pan because you have to fry this sauce.
There you go.
Thank you. I guess some people will call it sauteing, some people will call it frying. But we're not done. This is just the first part of it. So we're going to put all that in there and get all that stuff out and put that in there as well. We're going to get the rest of the vegetables done up to finish the sauce. So we're also going to use a 14-ounce can of tomatoes here at some point. There it is. I use the tomatoes and the juice, all of it, to just help, fortify the sauce. There's good tomato flavor in that juice. So we go ahead and we put that in. Now I will say my electrical chopper way faster, but this is just real convenient instead of having to dig through boxes to find where my housekeeper has actually put it. All right, so until all that's done, we'll put that in there, and then we'll finish up. So we're gonna go ahead and put in beef Magic Cube. These are the really, really small ones that they sell here in the U.S., so you can use as many as you want. You can use salt, it's completely up to you. I added some dried thyme. I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting that together. And I did neglect to tell you guys that I did put 1 Scotch bonnet pepper in the beginning with the red bell pepper. So please don't forget to do that. If you don't have Scotch bonnet, you can also use crushed red pepper. I believe Nigerians call the pepper pepe and the red bell pepper tatashe, I believe. If I'm wrong, please, my Nigerian brothers and sisters, let me know so that I can get that right, because I don't want to be giving bad and wrong information out. So let's go ahead and clean that up. These videos that I do kind of show a little bit of, my life. Not much, but, just me just moving around in the house and the things that I do. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on and let that sauce cook, saute, fry up, however. You can do it in a saute pan. I just did it in this little pot right here. So for the meatloaf, we're using about 3 pounds of ground beef. We're going to throw in about 1.5 tablespoons of dried thyme. I'm going to use about a cup of panko breadcrumbs. One of my secret ingredients to my quick and easy meatloaf is I use buttermilk. I forgot the correct term when you take bread and milk together and put it in your meatloaf. I think it's called like poulash or something like that. Don't hold me to it. But I'm going to go ahead and put in about a cup of panko breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to add buttermilk. Now, buttermilk, it does not taste good to drink. At least I don't think it does. But it adds a certain type of, I can't get the word right, but I'm going to say ripeness to your food that actually works once it's cooked and it's all mixed in together. So that's about half a cup of buttermilk. Now, I'm not going through all the channels of trying to figure out, oh, I need to put this, I need to put that. We're going straight in with some licking onion soup. And then I'm going to use some McCormick meatloaf seasoning. Let me tell y'all something about this McCormick meatloaf seasoning. I learned this from a Publix manager, I think in the meat department, many years ago. I used to love their meatballs. I'm like, oh my God, y'all meatballs are so good. How do y'all make them? And she gave up the secret. She said it's just McCormick meatloaf seasoning. Ever since I learned that, I've added McCormick meatloaf seasoning to every meatloaf. When I make meatballs, I use McCormick meatloaf seasoning. And I don't have to go through the whole process of gathering all those different little herbs and spices and all of that because it's already in there. So I do all the extra work. All right, so I'm going to add in some eggs. And on the meatloaf seasoning, that's completely up to you guys. You can put as much as you want in there, as least as you want. It's not salty, so it's all good. And then we're going to also go in with my seasoning that I make, which is Chef Holly's Essential Seasoning. It's got all that stuff in there. Garlic, thyme, rosemary, all that good stuff. All right, now we're going to throw in some onions. Y'all know I love my lazy onions. Yes, it's so much cheaper to cut them up yourself, but yeah, I'm okay. You can put in all those onions. You can put a little bit of onions, completely up to you. I'm going to put in here about a fourth of a cup to a half a cup of ketchup. Ketchup has a whole bunch of wonderful things in it. It's got vinegar, lemon juice, sugar, all that. All right, and so as you can see, our sauce is starting to cook. This is our Nigerian obayata sauce that is used a lot in Nigeria. All right, so after we mix everything together, we're all seasoned up. You can take a little piece of this meat, throw it in a saute pan, cook it really quick, and taste it to see if you need to reseason it before you pull it together. The seasoning is completely up to you. I am one of those people that I don't like to tell people how to season their food. If you like it with a little bit more salt, add it. If you like it sweet, add the sugar. Seasoning is completely up to you, and it's up to the person that's eating it. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of washing up here in my sink. And I covered my meatloaf up because I am waiting for my obayata to finish. And we're going to put that on top. So this is like a Nigerian-inspired meatloaf, really, is what we got going on. All right, so I'm going to sit down, watch me a little TV. I'm watching something on Netflix right here real fast while my sauce is coming together. And y'all know me, I like to just chill out in my house. I'm not a person who likes to be in the street. I like to be in the house. All right, so let's make myself a little something to drink. Just a little cup that I bought. My daughter's like, "Yeah, Mom, get rid of that. We don't need you see you drinking out of that." But whatever. So I got my little milk cup. I'm gonna make me a little Coke Zero to drink while I'm waiting for my obayata to finish on the stove, and I'm watching my movie. Got my vanilla Coke Zero. Just how they make them. Yeah. I hope y'all are enjoying these videos, showing y'all a little bit of my day in the life sometimes. All right, so our arrabbiata should just be about done. To me, it takes about 30 minutes to get it nice and reduced, and it looks almost like marinara sauce. You can taste it and re-season it, add salt, add bouillon cubes. If you want to add bouillon cubes, it's completely up to you. I've turned it down on low so that it can finish coming together. And I'm going to drink my little Coke Zero. That looks right. See how that looks like marinara sauce? We're pretty much done there. Taste it, re-season it if it needs to be re-seasoned. Like I said, you can eat this right on top of white rice as a meal and be done with it. You can stew lamb in it. You can, stew chicken in it. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. You can brown your chicken, then add the sauce, and then throw it in the oven and let it finish that way. As long as your chicken is seasoned, please make sure you season your chicken. If you don't do that, and that could be like a quick stew that you have right there. All right. Okay, so we're going to start off with putting the ketchup on the bottom. This is a traditional American meatloaf thing to put ketchup on top. Some people use tomato sauce. I like the ketchup. It has the vinegar. It has the lemon juice in it. It has the sugar. It has all the good stuff. So you put that on top. Then I'm going to ladle the arrabbiata over the top of that. Then I'm going to throw this in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour on 400 and let that bake. I'm going to serve my meatloaf with mashed potatoes and spinach in a little to-go container because I normally don't eat all of it, so I can cover it up and then put a top on it and then pop it in the microwave later to reheat it. There's our meatloaf going in the oven with our ketchup obiata sauce. There I am cooking my spinach. Whatever vegetable you want to go with, you can put with it. I actually like collard greens with my meatloaf, and I'm not going to go with it. Don't put it over there spinach. Alright, so the meatloaf is done, and I want to get the top to get a nice little crust on the top, so I'm going to put the broiler on high and allow that to happen just until I achieve the nice crust that I want on the top. Take our meatloaf out once we get that nice little crust on the top on the sauce. And there it is. It may not be beautiful, but when I tell you it's delicious. And you see that little oil at the bottom that comes out of the meat and the onions and everything that you put in there? That juice, you want to keep that and put that over your mashed potatoes. So there it is. That's my little plate with my little Tupperware container that I have a lid for. So if I don't finish, I can just pop the top on it and then pop it in the microwave later on and finish eating that. So thank you guys so much for joining me again. I'm sorry I was a little bit quiet because I'm shooting this, voiceovering this at about 5 o'clock in the morning and everybody is asleep. I don't want to bother no one. Thank you guys for watching, and please make your food phenomenal. Remember, I sell all my seasonings and everything on my website, phenomenalfoodbychefholly.com.